Hey golfers, Drew Mahowald here with Second Swing Golf, joined by Tyler Fitzel, Master Club Fitter. This is a Fitter's Choice 2025 comparison. We have some results that our fitters took from a survey. Two low spin drivers that to this point in 2025, we deem the two best. So Tyler, talk to us first about Fitter's Choice, kind of what the idea is there and why these two models are being highlighted here in this video.
So Fitter's Choice was an idea to try and help kind of find information from our fitters that are working one-on-one with customers. It's a great idea because what it does is get us more information, more in real time, if you will.
Yep.
So for instance, we talk a little bit about some of the top two choices to this.
Yep.
The Elyte Triple Diamond is a real low spin option, and when we start fitting, we're looking at some of the options in terms of like what I can do with weight, where I've got a taller face, how it's going to reduce spin. If I have someone that's got a lot of excessive spin and I'm trying to dial that around, I start to go to some options in these types of drivers. The same thing in the PING, the LST. They are more specifically designed with their technology to get a little bit less spin out of it if they can.
Yep.
And what it does for us is like the Fitter's Choice gives us an opportunity to start looking at these amongst ourselves as fitters. And what we have is like, you can come to me and go, hey, what's working well?
Yep.
So we're in communication with our fitters to try and find what's working well right here, right now, real time, and that provides for our customers.
Yeah, I mean I guess the quick summary on that is like basically it's asking all the fitters in the company what are the drivers that have worked best in the low spin category and fitting so far in 2025.
Yep.
And so of the all the options, right? It was G440 LST, it was Elyte Triple Diamond as the top two. Then Titleist GT4, TaylorMade QI35 LS, the Cobra DS Adapt LS were also part of the mix there, just behind these two. But nonetheless, we wanted to test these out just to get some kind of background too as to why, some real kind of numbers on TrackMan as to why these two are kind of performing so well in this category.
Exactly.
So let's do it. Let's do some swinging. Let's get some TrackMan data.
Let's do it.
So G440 LST is the first one here. We're also, for what it's worth, this is the Tensai 1K Black 65X. This is the shaft I play in my gamer right now. But with this driver, there's definitely still those unique ping features. Turbulator's there, carbon fly wrap is there. So there's no mistaking which brand you're looking at when it's a ping driver, G440. But one thing I noticed, I was able to test these outside down in kind of Ping HQ several months ago. The sound, they've really fine-tuned it really nicely.
Yeah.
You think back to G425, sound did get the best feedback, we'll say, from fitters, from customers in store. They've really optimized that well. So that's, for me, so far, and what I know about these drivers, that's my favorite part about them, is how they've optimized the sound. Let's hit it in the water.
Maybe. Maybe.
That's a good goal. I like that one.
That was nice. Well, and that's, when we talk about a fitting too.
Thank you.
This is what we're looking for, just like it would be a customer in the hitting bay. I'm seeing whether or not I can reduce spin, but I also know that where you hit the ball on the face of the club matters.
Yep.
I know that the setup matters and the swing matters. It's not a good versus a bad thing. It's just what we do versus what happens.
I also know too, like I love that you put me on the skinny fairway, because this is this is maybe a strong example, but like ultimately taking this out of the golf course is what matters, and being able to hit these drivers, and this is why they've done so well, is not just the fitting performance in the the performance in the actual fitting, but it's also the success that it has had out on the golf course as well.
Right. Your first one wasn't in the water,
Oh,
so
see, we're fine.
Yeah, we're okay.
That's
It's
just
on
a
the cart
punch
path.
out. That's just a punch out and up and down for
cart path, free drop.
Yeah, right.
Yep.
Oh, some funky spin off the.
Yeah, but again,
hit that one the best.
No, but low spin. So you had some low spin there.
Oh, that's in play.
Yep, it's in play. It's around that corner, over that bunker.
But you know what I'm talking about with the sound, though? It sounds so muted.
Yeah, they've got some internal.
It's a soft thud.
Yeah, they've got some internal ribs that they have put to try to lessen that tinny sound.
Yeah.
And that was for every major manufacturer, this is one of the things that they they actually spend some R&D on. You can talk about all the technology you want, but when it comes to sound or acoustics, like that plays a major role in what the feedback is going to kind of come from the club for you. Still carried the bunker over there. Still in play. There you
That'll
go.
work. That was a, that's the forgiveness off the toe there.
Yeah. Absolutely.
That T going all the way back there.
Absolutely. We look at that too in terms of its carry distance, and you've got a really, really good carry there.
Holy
that was
smokes.
302, yeah, going about 320. Everything that we're looking for, and again, there wasn't. I look at that and I say, all right, that was maybe a little toey, so that's good. It was also a little bit above center. That's good. It gives us a little bit less spin, which is nice. A little bit more launch, which was nice. We're looking at it in terms of turning over. Your club path has always been slightly inside to out.
Yeah.
So
that won't really.
yeah, that's
change.
not going to change.
Yeah.
So that right there is exactly why this is one of the low spin driver options on the market. Totally.
Yeah, that was really good. And again, it was one of those, I felt it. And you had that kind of, not panic, but you're kind of, as you're swinging through it, you're like, oh no, what's about to happen? Because you hit it off center. And to see that as a result speaks a lot to me about, I mean, I think that's always been the case with the LST heads, going back G430, 25, et cetera. It's how forgiving it is for a low spin head.
Yeah.
So I think that's where this driver will probably win in this category, is being maybe more forgiving than the other low spin ones out there.
Yeah, absolutely. And you know, if we wanted to manage spin, there's kind of probably three different ways to look at that. Maybe four. Number one is how you deliver the club to the ball. That's going to be a major influence on what's going to happen with contact, launch, and spin.
Yeah.
We're talking about the club head itself. So is it designed for low spin? We're talking about the shaft. The shaft can help in terms of the type of stability it provides. So, you know, is it flexing? Where is it flexing? That can really help with that. The other part of it are just the adjustments that could be made to this. It's like, if I've got weight as an example, and I can move that weight to a different position, that also may help.
Yeah, you got to
in a
weight
major
back
way.
here that can go into a draw or fade setting, which maybe for me, if I was actually in a fitting, based on my tendency to kind of go into out and turn it over, maybe the fade setting is a good solution. But again, I like that there's some good pop off of this and forgiveness on the off-center hits.
The other one to that is the ball, right? It's like what we talk about. The ball is a critical piece to this whole process.
Yeah.
That's why I always say in a fitting, club, swing, ball. All right, we got to find the right club, take a look at what's going on with that swing, and get a ball that's going to adapt best for us how we play. Yeah.
All right, let's try the Elyte Triple Diamond here. So Elyte Triple Diamond, and now I wanted to make sure because it's put it down, it sits to me way more open than G440 LST.
Okay.
And this is also in addition to, you know, we got the glossy crown versus the matte one, and we have, to me it looks like a more compact shape, club head shape versus that one. But
yeah,
I know this has been lauded by fitters, like just in terms of ball speed, like going to be the fastest ball speeds in this category, or at least has been so far. I think that's kind of been the feedback of this one.
It absolutely is, and one of the things that Callaway kind of prides themselves on is with this AI technology of finding ball speed on a mishit.
Yep.
Right. So really trying to get a little bit more out of it that way as well.
That was a low face. Actually, might work out though.
That'd be all right. It's in play around the bunker there.
Yep. Again, that's one where I did not hit that good, 144 on the smash, but I'm in the fairway and I hit it on a total of 300 yards.
Yep.
I'll take that. Oh yeah, that felt great.
There you go. That's better. And one of the things that we're seeing with Callaway, and just absolutely, literally, last week, we have the new Triple Diamond Tour Draw.
Yes.
And the new Triple Diamond Max.
Yep.
So some more models that are coming out in this configuration where we're going to have a little bit of a low spin option to it. But now we have internal mass has been moved a little so that it allows for maybe a more particular customer looking for
Yeah.
a certain type of shot shape with it.
Yeah.
Already looked at the Triple Diamond Tour Draw on a few occasions in some fittings and seen it actually, kind of straightens some things out.
I'm surprised, again, I mean, you're the one doing the fittings, but I'd just be curious to know how applicable that one is. Because it seems like players are also trying to maybe fight with this category. There's more players looking for a tiny bit of fade bias, but
Yeah.
that's why you're doing the fittings, I guess. Oh yeah, that was good. I gotta say, this is only 3 swings so far, but that's 3 fairways hit.
Yeah, and it's that's why it becomes this combination of the 3, right? The club, the swing, and the ball. It's because we're going to need to find something that agrees with you.
Yeah.
And this is the whole point of the fitter's choice is not to get biased towards it. It's to see what's working and see what customers are hitting and how they're hitting it. And this could be a Callaway for you, and it might have been one of the others that we didn't get to today, just from a time perspective. Right. Like, we can't test everything, absolutely everything, all the time, every time. But that's why we take a look at some of the best on the market.
Yep.
And this is why it's one of the best on the market.
This has been great so far. I'll hit 2 more quickly here. Ooh, toe ball. Still kept up speed distance wise, just toe turned her over a little bit. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Woo!
Yeah,
that's pretty good stuff.
It really is, actually. We talk about this in terms of,
wow.
Yep. I'm looking up at the numbers, and just kind of the numbers alone, you see that there's maybe just a touch more ball speed. Launch is pretty similar. Spin might be a little down, but overall, even if I want to take kind of what we did here, and just leave that off for a moment, is we're very, very close in both of these drivers. You'll also notice, oh, hey, they're both at about 23 to 2400 spin. They're both carrying 280, going about 307, 308. So they're both doing the same thing. That's where I look at technology and I say, you've got to come in and get fitted, because either one of these could be the driver, and maybe it's a different one. But we try to attack certain pieces of what's happening to the ball. Remember, it's ball speed, launch, spin, and direction. So I'm going to try to influence the ball speed with contact. That could mean longer versus shorter. It could mean weight distribution. It could mean shaft. It could mean loft, like lie angle. There's a lot of different ways that we're going to maneuver that club. But the other part of it, in terms of launch and spin, that's one where we want to get something that gets up in the air and then stays in the air. If it doesn't have spin, it actually dives faster, so it comes out of the air faster. And I know a lot of the times we kind of look at this, hey, I want to hit this bullet. This bullet looks good. I want to hit this low one, but the low one isn't always necessary.
You want the 1600 spin that just flies, but you have to be so much more perfect with your swing and your contact to make that work. So in the low spin category, we saw a great example of why both of these have been so good and why the fitters have loved them. But in the same sense, there are other options out there, and that perfect combination of launch, spin, consistency, it might be the Cobra DS Adapt LS with a certain one of those 33 future fit settings, or it might be the TaylorMade QI35 LS. So it's important to get fit. This is just, it's early in the year, and these are just the initial kind of results so far from the fitters, kind of what they've seen. But I would say there's no qualms, or I have no issues with the choices that the fitters have made so far. These are both really good results from both G440 LST and from Elyte Triple Diamond. I think that they're great, and that's one of the reasons why all of the fitters agree in terms of the Fitter's Choice Award. If you want something that might be looking a little bit more low spin, this is where we start our conversation. Absolutely. Well, golfers, more Fitter's Choice videos coming on the YouTube channel. But we thank Tyler for the time, for helping out with the Fitter's Choice survey, but also being here today to talk about the clubs.